Hello, everyone, and welcome to Arcno Tech Review Session 2. We are all about exploring cutting edge AI and how it can be used to solve real world problems and shape the future. Today, we are checking out some of the coolest research presented at the ICML 2024 conference. We'll focus on three amazing papers about AI that creates videos, images, and even games. First up is VideoPoet by Google Research. This impressive tool generates creative and fun videos from different inputs like text, image, and existing videos. It can even use something called optical flow to make the videos look stylized. What makes VideoPoet stand out is that it creates smoother, more realistic motion and can combine different input types, text, pictures, and videos all at once. It also uses a special kind of AI model called large language model, which is a new approach for making videos. Usually, AI video generation uses something called diffusion models. Before we get into VideoPoet, how it works, let's quickly talk about large language models. Think of them as super smart autocomplete. They predict the next word in a sentence based on what came before. For example, if you type once upon a, it'll probably guess time. By feeding the predicted word back into the input, it can write the next word until it can complete the whole sentence, answer questions, or even create stories from a simple input of once upon a time. VideoPoet uses this idea by turning different input types into a kind of code called tokens. It uses different tools like T5 for converting text into embeddings, Magbit V2 for tokenizing visuals, and SoundStream for tokenizing audios. It also uses tags to label what type of input it is, like BOT for the beginning of text, BOV for the beginning of visuals, and EOV for the end of visuals. The AI then creates its own sequence of tokens and uses special decoders to turn those tokens back into creative video and audio. Next, let's look at AI that creates images from text. We'll use DALL-E 2 as an example. It's a slightly older model from 2022, but it helps explain how this technology works. If you give it a text prompt like a photorealistic image of an astronaut riding a horse, DALL-E 2 can draw that picture. Many image and video generation systems use something called diffusion models. Given an image, we can keep adding more and more noise until the picture is just noise. Diffusion models learn to reverse this process and it creates similar images as the input from random noise. Now let's look at the architecture of DALL-E 2. Given images and their text captions, it first learns to translate image and text into a kind of numerical representation called embedding. Then it learns a prior model to convert the text embeddings to image embeddings, and a decoder model to convert image embeddings to creative images. There is a cool visual where the original pictures on the top are turned into embeddings first, and then back into similar looking pictures through the decoder model. This shows how it can create new images from the original using decoder model. Lastly, let's talk about GENIE, also by Google Research, which creates games from single image. GENIE can make a playable game from just a picture, allowing users to interact with the virtual world it creates. GENIE learns by watching game videos from the internet. Normally, AI needs to see both the game video and the player's action to learn how to make games. But Genie figures out the actions just by watching the videos. This is achieved by the latent action model LAM. This is a huge improvement. It does this by breaking down videos into frames, turning them into tokens, and then figuring out what actions are happening between those frames. It then learns how the game changes based on each action through the dynamics model. So when you give Genie a picture, it turns the picture into tokens, takes your input like a button press, and predicts the next frame of the game. By repeating this process, it creates a playable game. Now, demo time. You can see examples of VideoPoet on the Google Research website. It isn't available for everyone to use yet, but there are similar open source tools available on Hugging Face for text to video generation tasks. So if you get on Hugging Face, you can see a list of open source tools. You can download them and try it out on your local machine. And some of them also have demos online. And then for DALL-E, the latest version right now is the DALL-E 3. If you get on the website, you can see a lot of interesting creative generated images from prompt. Um, so yeah, so it's very fun to check out. And if you want to try out the DALL-E 3, you can get on ChatGPT. So if you give a prompt like generate an image of something something, mine is a banana coming to life. Behind the scene, ChatGPT will call DALL-E 3 and generate the image. And if you get on Hugging Face, you can also access a lot of open source models for text to image generation. And finally, for Genie, on the Google Research website, we can see a lot of interesting examples to show you what it can do. So far, I don't find any easy to use open source game generation tools yet. Probably still early stage, but I'm sure they will be available soon. Thank you for watching my video. In next session, I will show you how I used an AI assistant to help me understanding the technical papers quickly. You can also access the AI assistant on my website, arknode.com. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell so you don't miss out.